One of my favorite verses is 1 Peter 2:9, and I just want to share that with you guys tonight because I really believe that it's something that God wants to speak into your life tonight. And the verse says, "But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." And I love that verse so much because you know what? I think it makes us realize, guys, that you're it. It is you. We are it. We are the chosen generation, guys. God has chosen you, and God has chosen us to live now for such a time as this, to go out into this world and shake things up. Guys, I'm so done with us as Christians sitting back and complaining about everything that's wrong in this world, but never doing anything about it. And it's about time that we rise up and we stand up for the things that God is calling us to do in our life. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care if nobody else has ever done it before. God is calling you to do something amazing in your life, and it's about time to stop caring about what everybody else thinks about you and do what God is calling you to do. Guys, God never promised you that life was going to be easy when you follow him. He didn't say, accept me and everything's going to be great and you're never going to have to work a day in your life and it's going to be perfect. Guys, if Jesus was persecuted, if Jesus faced those things, guys, we're his followers. We're trying the best in our life to follow in his footsteps. So we need to expect at least a little bit of what he had, the persecution, the people not understanding us, the people not liking how we're living our life. But you know what, guys? I have learned in my life that I cannot care about what everybody else thinks about me because this life is not a popularity contest. So it's about time that we stop living like it is. Guys, you are called to do great things. You are the next Mother Teresa, and you are the next William Wilberforce and the next Joan of Arc. That is you. Stop sitting around waiting for somebody else to change this world and go out into this world and be great. Be all that you were created to be in this life. And let me tell you guys something. I'm not just telling you to do it. I'm not just saying you have to do that, but us girls aren't going to do that. I'm speaking that because that's what God has challenged us every single day of our life, to take the road less traveled, to go the way that nobody else has gone before. So one of the things I'll just share with you guys that God has had us girls do that's not easy whatsoever is God has had us girls take a stand for purity in our life. And that's not easy in a world that is so impure, but God said, girls, I want you to live a life dedicated to purity. So you know what that meant for us? That meant that as women, we had to be pure in the way that we dress. Because you know what, girls? This world tells us that we're nothing unless we're a certain size, unless we look a certain way, and then we have to show all this skin to get attention from other people. Girls, we are worth so much more than that. And we do not have to show ourselves to get attention from anybody else. Girls, we need to respect ourselves and we need to cover up and say, you know what, I'm worth more. It doesn't matter how many heads I turn. It doesn't matter how many people think I look hot today. You know what, as long as my outfit is pleasing to God and to guys, girls, that's what we need to be thinking about. Now it's in, now it's fashion. We can still look good. I still like dressing nice, but girls, we need to be more concerned about covering up and protecting ourselves than how many heads we turn. And another thing that God had us girls do that people kind of think is kind of weird is we're all in our 20s and we've never had boyfriends before, because God said, girls, I want you to fall in love with me first before you go out and fall in love with some guy that's probably not even your husband. And he said, girls, I want to protect your heart. I want you to love me and dedicate these single years to me, because these single years are so short and we waste them on so many different things in this life. And guys, God asked us for our hearts, and he said, girls, I want you to commit to never date until you meet the one that I have for you. But right now, will you give your single years to me and dedicate them to me? So you know what? We've never held a guy's hand. We've never kissed a guy because we said, okay, God, this is crazy, but you know what? I'm going to trust you with my life. So guys, what is God calling you to do? Those are some things that God has called us to do, and you may think it's weird, but you know what? When you stand for what God's calling you to do, I might think that's weird. But you know what? If God's calling you to do it, then I'm going to support you 100%, because God is calling you to do something. He is speaking to each and every one of you today. So guys, I encourage you, go out and be brave enough to live the calling that God has had placed on your life.